Hi, I'm Alvin from Group 3. Today I'm going to present the international marketing plan of Oreo with my teammate Pei Ling, Pei, Ram, and Ivan. So let's start with the first presenter.
So my name is Peling. So I'll be talking a little bit about the Oreo company. So Oreo has been the legendary cookies in the 20th century, and it is also ranked as the best-selling cookies in the United States. So there are many baking companies merged to form the national business company with Oreo, such as Nabisco. So the host country that we have chosen is South Korea. So in South Korea, Koreans are obsessed with unique flavors such as Nestle Kit Kat Chocolatory Sublime Rubies. And in South Korea, they have a positive annual growth rate for sweets and also filled cookies. So that's, for example, from 3.01% to 3.43% within 5 years. So besides the imported processed chocolates product also increased in Korea from $93 million in 2006 to 201 million within 5 years. So the locally processed chocolate are also increased from 715 billion won to 834 billion won in 2010 within 5 years. So now I'll pass on to my another groupmate.
Okay, thank you. So good day everyone, I'm Jong Yong and I will be analyzing the macro environment factors, which is PESTEL analysis for our host country, South Korea. So the first P, which stands for politic. According to the data, the political stability in South Korea has once reached the maximum point of 0.64 in 2018, and its latest value is 0.56 points in 2020. In 1915, South Korea had commenced a close and good relationship with the United States, and together they signed up for Free Trade Agreement (FTA) in 2012. The Free Trade Agreement between these two countries not only eliminates the trade tariffs, it also helps addressing the barriers that would impede the flow of goods and services. Next, which is economy. E. South Korea has successfully transformed from a low-income into a high-income economic country and become a leader in the field of innovation and technology. Based on the Index of Economic Freedom, South Korea obtained 74 score, and South Korea is ranked 7th among 40 countries. Not only that, South Korea was the 11th largest economy in the world in terms of GDP, gross domestic production, in 2016, and the economy has grown 5.9% in the second quarter of 2021. Moving on, it comes to the social analysis of South Korea. Rate of deaths outnumber the rate of births in South Korea, result in decline in population of South Korea in 2020. The total fertility rate of South Korea has hit the lowest rate, which is 0.84. Lower rate of births has accelerated the process of societal aging, which leads to a huge increase in welfare expenditure. Moreover, the other research shows that the Koreans generally do not prefer things that are too sweet as the Western sweets. The children are normally instilled with few mindset regarding Western desserts. They are told that consuming too much of sweets are bad for their health and they will grow fat. Last one, which is T, technological. South Korea is well known with ICT infrastructure and lightning fast connection. It has gained a lot of high reputation and fame, which has brought huge impacts to the growth of South Korea's GDP and ICT industry. And moving on, I will pass it to my groupmates. Thank you.
So first of all, I will talking about the Portal 5 force. First of all, the trade of new entry is low. Oreo doesn't need a large amount of capital requirement in South Korea market compared with other industry like automobile electronics. Some more South Korean government bans some confectionery product over 250 calories, including chocolate biscuits, because of children food safety. However, this does not affect the entry of Oreo because a single Oreo cookies has a little over 53 calories. Next, the bargaining power of buyer is low. Oreo has marketed to a wide range of customers, including individual convenience store and supermarkets. Oreo was the second ranked cookies brand for the United States, and it's not easy for South Korean buyer to make precision and achieve backward integration. Although Oreo has many competitors in the South Korean market, but Oreo has a strong brand identity. Third, the bargaining power of supplier is low as well. Oreo has no differentiation of input problem. The switching costs are not high and the ingredients are fairly simple. Thus, they can switch the suppliers in South Korea at any time if the price is not reasonable. And also, Oreo modernized its supply chain and have strong relationship with supplier. The rivalry among existing competitors is high. South Korea has many potential Oreo rivals such as Lotte, Pepero, Lotte chocolate biscuits. Oreo lack of so many variations that customers are bored and will switch to other product brands. Lastly, the trade of substitute is moderate. The substitutes of Oreo in South Korea will be other snacks, for example, potato chips, tortilla chips, flips, and pretzels. According to the graph, cookies and crackers volume accounted for half of all snacks and confectionery volume in South Korea every year on average, and the growth trend was very stable. So next, I'll be talking about the cultural analysis of South Korea. First of all, as you can see in the graph, in South Korea, the power distance point was 60, higher than the average. South Koreans are socially very respectful of what their elders and higher ups say, and they also very comply with government policies. And also the South Korea individualism score only 18, considered a low marks. Low individualism means that Korea is a very collectivist society. And also South Korea scored 39 points for masculinity. In the past, Korean was a male-dominated society like Japan. However, since the abolitions of patriarchy or family law and the criminalization of abortion, South Korean masculinity score has started to decline. And also South Korea scored 85 points in the uncertainty avoidance index, which is higher level in the world. Other people opinions such as reviews, recommendation, and rating are the most important in Koreans people consumption decision making process. Lastly, according to Hotsteps, the South Korea long-term orientation score is 100. It can be seen that South Korea society has a long-term orientation. People in the society tend to believe that the best is yet to come. Next, I'm going to pass to my teammates.
Okay, so once again, at this part, I will talk about the SWOT analysis of our host country, South Korea. So the South Korea has a very high freedom of economy, which has around 71 points that makes the country's economy went to the top 31st free economic country in 2014. And South Korea is a well-developed country, and its economy is the 12th largest in the world, with a quite high GDP per capita. And for the weakness part, South Korea are having too much of regulations, and there are also trade unions being added to the cost of conducting business. This extra cost might lower down the interest of other countries or businessmen to seek market access in South Korea. Not only that, the relationship between South Korea and North Korea have been no major improvements. The bitter and tense relationships between these two countries have become an invisible time bomb of South Korea. And moving on, the opportunities of South Korea. South Korea has been a growing and rising market in the fields of travel and tourism. South Korea has achieved a new peak in the numbers of travelers and tourists to the country. And music industry of South Korea, which can be known as K-pop, has also burst into the whole world that has already attracted a lot of fans, and these fans are to follow the trend and their idols' culture. And lastly, which are the traits of South Korea? The increase in labor costs has resulted in less job opportunities for the people, and it has caused a higher disparity in income and labor disputes. The crisis of currency is getting more serious and worse. It leads to the trend of lower birth rates and increasing age population. And moving on, I will pass it to my groupmates. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ram, and I'll now be talking about the entry mode to the host country, which is a strategic partnership. So this is where two or more companies or entities cooperate together with a shared goal or ambition. So the firm should evaluate whether the partner company, whether it's tangible or intangible, what they can provide in terms of value. So the benefits of cooperating with the local firm are that the local firm has a higher possibility of comprehending the local culture, market, and methods of working together, having a trustworthy and established name in South Korea market, and as well as having access to local clients and partners through the partner company. The disadvantages are that the company won't have direct control over most things and that the partner company has a different goal or ambition than the firm. Moving on. So the Oreo should form a partnership with Lotte Corporation, which is a South Korean conglomerate. The main partnership would be between Oreo and Lotte Confectionery. This partnership would be beneficial as Lotte Confectionery is an established company in South Korea with great understanding of the local culture and knowledge, which can help Oreo to cater to the South Korean market and audience. Another factor would be that Lotte Confectionery would be able to handle the investments and funds needed for a partnership. Since Lotte Confectionery is a well-established company in South Korea with many of their goods being well known to the local people, this could help Oreo with its established popularity and mainstreamness. Moving on. Now I'll be talking about positioning strategy. So for positioning strategy, it would be product price. So the confectionery industry in South Korea has a variety of goods and products from many companies, which can be competitive in most aspects, especially price. For example, a choco pie in South Korea, it's a snack which is very popular and price competitive. However, if Oreo were to be price competitive and make use of efficient marketing, they could have success over their local competitors if they use the established name and branding of their partner company. And this would also give them the trust of the local market, as well as Oreo having its own established name globally. If their products were to be price competitive, they could win over their competitors. That's all. I'll pass it to my next group mate.
Okay, so hi guys, my name is Pei. So I'm going to talk about the recommendations and implementations as well as the conclusions. So Oreo actually should adapt the 4 marketing mix strategy when entering the South Korean market. So the first one will be the product strategy. So Oreo should actually change the English wordings to Korean wordings on the packaging to suit and adapt to the local culture. So secondly is the pricing strategy. They should actually adapt the price which is suitable for the local market that every consumer can accept. So for the third one would be the place and distribution strategy. Different confectionery product actually have different distribution channel. So Oreo have to identify which distribution channel actually is the best for their brand in the South Korean market. So lastly is the promotion strategy. So the advertisement that Oreo actually puts up in the billboards and also social media should actually also adapt to the local culture. So besides, there are actually possible pitfalls and challenges that they may face when entering to the South Korea market. So firstly will be the competition. As you all know, Lotte is one of the biggest confectionery company in the South Korea. Therefore, Oreo should actually choose the right product and also the right flavors of their product when entering to the South Korea market. So secondly is the rules and regulations. So South Korea actually have these product and packaging labeling laws for international product when entering to the South Korea market. So what Oreo can do is they have to follow the laws by providing necessary information to the authority when entering to the South Korea market. So this is all for our group. Thank you so much.